The gate, JT, live from beautiful Wynn Resort in Las Vegas, one of the greatest studios ever created on a magical night for sports. Wow, what a night to be on. I yearn for October. I live for October because I got Yankee baseball. And other than my wife, kids, mom and dad, sisters, and family, nothing means more to me than Yankee baseball in October. It started my life. It's in my life. And I don't win much anymore, man. My Yankees haven't won since 2009. Think about that. Not 2015, 18, 20, 21, 20. No, we never win anymore. So you better believe I'm all in. We have that along with Kansas City hosting Derek Carr and New Orleans as we open up the show. Great to have everybody in here. You should fight for this show. You should get in. You should want more of me. You can get me on YouTube, JT the Brick YT, when you don't hear me there. And tonight's a big night. We got great guests as we always have, and we got a lot of things happening. So my head is on a swivel. I'll get you set with all the scores, everything that happens, all the breaking news when we see it. But what we usually do on Monday after I work deep into the night on Mad Dog on Sunday night, we talk about the biggest stories out there in sports, and I want to hear from you at 888 Mad Dog 6, the last network that wants to hear from anybody. We want to hear from you, 888-623-3646, as we open up the show. And there's a lot to get to here tonight. Look, Kansas City hasn't played well all year. They're not playing well. Rashee Rice is out. They got injuries up and down this team. Kelsey's not playing. He's more interested in acting. He's an actor. Like SportsCenter now has these gals on who are actresses. They used to be, my friend Linda Cohn and other people. Now they're actresses. Well, Travis Kelce is an actor. He wants to be Daniel Day-Lewis. He's done with football, but if you give him a three-peat and this team wins and they get a three-peat, they're the greatest football team ever. They're better than the 72 Dolphins. They're better than the 18-0 Patriots, who ended up losing to Eli. That's why we put Eli into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. First ballot, not second, because Eli beat Brady twice in the Super Bowl and beat an undefeated team, so we love that. But this is an interesting night for Patrick Mahomes because he's not playing at a Pro Bowl level. They're not playing great, but they're undefeated. And they are undefeated, and they find ways to win games. No team looked better through week 1 and 2 than New Orleans and Derek Carr. Then they came back to earth. So much so that Dennis Allen was the number 1 odds to be fired first on the hot seat. And then they won the 2 games and he was off the hot seat. If he loses 3 in a row, he's back on the hot seat. This is a big game tonight. I got a lot of friends who have sharp money on New Orleans to win on the money line, let alone to cover the spread here. If you're gambling this game, hit me up via Twitter, X, at JT the Brick. How you going to bet this? And look, Derek Carr's not bad, 6-4 career on Monday Night Football. But I begin with the way I wrapped up the show last night. Quick story. So when we come on Sunday night, we are the first show in America that comes on after Sunday Night Football. And I'm proud of that. This is the longest running show in the history of sports radio on Sunday night, uninterrupted. And that's important to me. Legacy plays. That's important whatever you do in life. If you're a chef, if you're an accountant, if you're a valet, you work at Caesars or Wynn here, you've been a valet for 35 years, it's a big thing. And I love being on Sunday night. But they delayed the game because of the lightning storms last night. And I said to our team, including Isaiah running the show, I said, this game's going to be on our entire show. And it was. And it came down to Dak, the $60 million quarterback, had to go the length of the field, had to have an ideal drive. It was one of the greatest drives of his career. This is a Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year. This is a multiple Pro Bowler, but he doesn't have great postseason numbers. But regular season, a little bit of a different story. And last night down the stretch, Dak was magnificent. Incredible call there. Unbelievable. Westwood went on the call. Our proud partner were able to cut in and out of that game last night, which is incredible. So that game probably saved the Cowboys season. And I'm serious. A win in week 4 or 5 is the same as a win in 15, 16. They don't count them differently if you win in week 16 compared to week 2. It all counts as a win or a loss. And if the Cowboys lose that game, we can all sit back and say, Cowboys are going nowhere. They can't beat Justin Fields. They can't beat Justin Fields. How are they going to win the Super Bowl? How are they going to beat the Niners in Santa Clara? How are they going to beat Buffalo if they get there? They can't do it. And they won. So credit to them for getting it done. For Mike Tomlin, post-game, he couldn't believe it. They had an opportunity to hold on and win the game. They came up short. Yeah, what was the difference in the game? Ball came loose at the end, and Dak fell on it, dove on the ball, and they were able to get the win. So great win for the Cowboys. Yeah, I just said that. Pittsburgh isn't a great team. I'll see them this upcoming Sunday in Vegas as they take on the Raiders. I'll get to that in a moment. But and listen, the Steelers are 3-2. That's pretty good. And I don't think they're a great team. And other teams that are out there are trying to find a way to win games. If you, and I've been talking about this for the start of the year, if you are 3-2, celebrate. Celebrate like it's Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. If you're 2-3, don't panic. You're one game away from being 3-3. If you get to 3-3, man, you're feeling great. You're not feeling good. And if you get off to a good start like Minnesota, they're 5-0. Oh, Minnesota stinks. Don't start telling me that Minnesota is a Super Bowl team with Sam Darnold. Stop that. Minnesota's off to a good start. That doesn't mean they're a Super Bowl team, but they're putting wins in the bank. How would you like to be Cincinnati at 1-4? How would you like to be them? Jacksonville got their first win. So just manage the first 6 or 7 or 8 weeks and then get healthy, get your team back again, and maybe you'll be good. So the NFL is pumping up their beer muscles. I like the NFL. I make money, and I have a career in the NFL. So I love the NFL. Been to all these Super Bowls in a row. Love it. Watch football. So yesterday, the NFL is patting themselves on the back because it was the longest day in NFL history. The longest day ever in the history of this sport dating back to leather helmets. That's because they started in London, and the game was delayed in Pittsburgh, Eastern Standard Time, and that ended, at 1 a.m, whatever it was. So from the start to the end of the day, the NFL is pumping their beer muscles, telling you how great they are, that they provided programming longer than any other day in NFL history. Great. They're also going to Germany, and they're going to all these spots all around the world, and they're expanding. It's an absolute money grab right now for the NFL. Take it from me. I'm in Vegas. Everything we do now in Vegas is Allegiant Stadium, Super Bowl, big events, private events, because the NFL wants money. So we start yesterday with Aaron Rodgers in London, and Aaron Rodgers throws 3 interceptions. So this morning I knew that my friends like Stephen A. and other people, Shannon Sharp, friend of the show, would go on and debate Aaron Rodgers. And I said to myself, wait a second. Aaron Rodgers, he threw 3 interceptions. He didn't play all last year. He blew out his Achilles, and we still put him in the A block. I'm putting him in the A block in the opening monologue, the must-listen monologue here. Why? Because he's a whack job now. He's crazy. Okay, the guy doesn't want to settle down. Nothing wrong with that. A lot of guys, Derek Jeter didn't want to settle down and have kids and get married until he was almost retired. But Aaron Rodgers is out on an island by himself. He is a 4-time MVP, a Super Bowl champ. But he hasn't played well as of late. And here's another bad play for Rodgers, a pick 6, 1 of 3 along the way. So that's where we stand here, and that's where we're getting going on this Aaron Rodgers situation and what you believe in the future needs to happen with the Jets. It truly is a very, very compelling topic, and it's very confusing because Jet fans like Babchek, who I love, he's like a brother to me, Babs, right? Jet fans and my brother-in-law, Paul, who's listening right now, Jet fans are delusional. They've never won. Going back to Joe Namath, and many of the young ones weren't alive for Joe Namath. So they're going to believe anything you tell them. They're going to believe that Devonte Adams is coming there. They're going to believe that they're going to turn the season around. I want to know what you think. Are the Jets done already? Do the Jets look dysfunctional to you? The quarterback doesn't like the coach. That's obvious. The quarterback loves other coaches that coached him in the past. He doesn't love Robert Saleh. And Saleh knows that Aaron Rodgers is his boss. Very complex situation. When Troy Aikman was the quarterback of the Cowboys, he wasn't Jimmy Johnson's boss. If Jimmy wanted to really get into Troy's face, he could do it. And Jerry Jones was the boss. And Troy Aikman didn't go to Jerry and start yelling at him. This Aaron Rodgers is in complete control of the Jets franchise. He knows it. I just said it. So we need to hear from some Jet fans now. Is the last Hail Mary, and Aaron Rodgers is pretty good at a Hail Mary, is the last Hail Mary for him the Hail Mary for Devonte Adams? Now, as I'm in Vegas working for the Raiders, know the story with Devonte. He's a good guy. Devontae's a good guy, but don't tell that to Raider Nation, because Raider Nation's saying if you're such a good guy, you're going to stick it out. Max Crosby's going to stick it out. You don't hear Max Crosby going, I want to get out of here. Mad Max Crosby, who now has a great podcast here before us here, Let's Go, replacing the great Tom Brady for a portion of it. He ain't a quitter. So if Devonte leaves the Raiders, he quit on the Raiders. He hasn't left yet. So I'm very careful with my language. He's still a Raider, and anything could happen. Maybe they could sit down, break bread, and he stays. But it looks like he's going to be on the way out. I'm looking for Jet fans tonight, Jet fans who are Met fans, right? Jets and Mets, on what you want to do with Aaron Rodgers here. He played like garbage. And if Jet fans had the balls, they'd call me and they'd tell me that Aaron Rodgers is toast, or they think he's going to save the season. I don't know what you Jet fans think. I'm not a Jet fan. 888-623-3646 is the number as we continue on. I mentioned the Raiders, and I don't care what team you watch. It's rare in football where one play decides a game. You know, unless it's a game-winning field goal that's missed. Scott Norwood, wide right? The play that you remember. A blocked field goal. I'll get to the Giants in a little bit. But in the Raider game in Denver, they beat Denver 8 in a row. 8 in a row. They've absolutely owned Denver. Sean Payton's never beat the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Raiders were about to go up 17-3. I believe the game is over on the 4-yard line if Gardner Minshew runs the ball in, let alone throws it to Brock Bowers. He throws a pick six to Patrick Surtain. Game over. Here's how it sounded. It's Dave Logan on Broncos Radio. So the Raiders could have been 3-2. Now the Broncos are 3-2, and Bo Nix can't throw a forward pass. He can barely throw the ball. But who cares? Denver's 3-2. They got to feel great about that. And finally, the New York Football Giants, the big blue wrecking crew. Season on the brink. Dayball's going to get fired eventually. Shane's going to get fired, the GM, unless someone could make a play in Seattle on a field goal. Someone go make a play. Here's Big Blue. Oh, good heavens. And there it is on Seahawks radio. How about that? The Giants are able to possibly save their season. You see the train wreck that is the NFC East with the Eagles and everybody else? Hey, man, they're in a pretty good situation right now. I think they're in a pretty good situation. They're not a good team. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. But 2 weeks ago, we were running everybody out of New Jersey, New York, and now the Giants are in a pretty good situation now. Pretty good situation. So that's what we're going to do here, and I'm excited about this tonight. Let's get rolling. 888 Mad Dog 6. I'm all locked into the Yankees. I'm here to do my job for Steve Torrey and the rest of this fine company. But I'm all about Steve Torrey and Adam Shine and Babchek and all the other Yankee fans on this channel. We're here for one thing tonight. All rise. I'm standing up. All rise for the judge. All rise for the judge. And let me look directly at this camera and tell you one thing. Aaron Judge is striking out like he's playing wiffle ball in the backyard. He struck out 5 times in his last regular season game. Now he's striking out with Giancarlo Stanton. Oh, no. Once you get Judge swinging at that crap on the outside corner, he'll swing at it. This is a very important night for the captain of the Yankees. He's got to wake up and get going again because they call him Mr. August for a reason, not Mr. October. Last time I was in this studio, the real Mr. October called me because the last time I was doing this monologue, exactly 1 week ago today to the second, Pete Rose died. And I looked at my phone and it was blowing up like I've never seen. And I could talk and chew gum, but I had a tough time doing this at the same time. Looking at my phone, Pete died. Oh my God, we got to confirm it. Check TMZ. All the producers looking for clarification from MLB, and we got it. And we did an entire show on the life of Pete Edward Rose. We've grieved Pete. Now we move on. We got October baseball. Oh, and the home run for Detroit. Let's get out to the Motor City of Detroit. Tigers with a big home run and a shutout win. You believe what just happened there on Tigers radio? We're talking about the 9th inning. No score, and he ends up winning the game. That is absolutely incredible to me. So let's get a phone call in here quickly as we open up the show. Let's hear from you. Let's hear what you have to say here as we get this thing rolling. We got a busy show tonight. We'll start off with Brian in New York. He's a Jet fan. Start us off, Brian. I'm doing well. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, great point. You nailed it. But the owner, hold on, the owner is going to have a job. He owns a team. And that would be Woody Johnson if he wants to fire Salah. And if he doesn't want Aaron Rodgers, say Aaron Rodgers is washed. I don't think he is. Then Woody's got to get a new quarterback, a new head coach, and he might not want to pay Devonte Adams and restructure his deal. So there is a little risk reward when it comes to the Jets on this deal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I got you. All right. All right. So that sounds good. I love that. That's New York sports radio in a nutshell. That's panic. That's desperation. That's a gentleman who called in and said, we are the Jets. We haven't won since Joe Namath. Go pay Devonte Adams. Do whatever you have to do. Mortgage the franchise. Do it all because we have to win or everybody's getting fired. He's exactly right. Everybody's getting fired. Everybody. So you might as well go give the Raiders a second, pay the contract. Devonte will renegotiate it, you would think, and go get an elite first ballot Hall of Famer. Devonte's that good to maybe save the season of the Jets. But Devonte's going to go from a 2-3 team in Vegas to a 2-3 team in New Jersey. You should see his house in Vegas. It'd blow you away. Believe me, Devonte wants to live in Vegas, not somewhere in Jersey in the sticks. I can promise you that. 888 Mad Dog 6. The great Chris Myers from the NFL on Fox will join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. Sam Munson later. We got a ton of sports going on. Detroit with the big win tonight. Yankees. And coming up next, the Dodgers. Are they getting bullied by the Padres? The Padres said, no, no, no. We are not the little brother anymore. We're going to get in your face and fight you in the parking lot of Chavez Ravine. I love that. JT from Wynn, Vegas, right here as we kick it off on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Nice job. Nice job. All right, everybody. I just kind of wanted to try this monologue out for the first time here. So, we didn't have the audio set up to the callers and all that, but I'm going to kind of bail out of here now. I just wanted to do a monologue, see what it looked like. We'll clean it up next time around, and I appreciate you all jumping in. Please subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you very much, and we will do it again soon. Take care. All right. That worked.